So thank you all. Thank you for joining, and thank you for participating in this IntelliSmart Innovation Challenge and Hackathon. And I think all the leadership team from IntelliSmart is also with us. So so there is a some house rules we have to follow to begin with. So if you ask questions and all after the mentors, the speaker explain the problem statement, you have to just raise hand. There's a feature in your this MS Teams to simply raise hand, and one by one we will call the names, and you can ask your questions, any doubt related to the problem statement and all. So I will ask my colleague Asgar to take the lead from now.
Thank you, Samkit. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all. So, without wasting any time, let's quickly start. I would like to invite Mr. Anil Rawal, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, IntelliSmart, for the opening remarks. Mr. Anil Rawal is the Managing Director and CEO of IntelliSmart. He is an ex-civil services officer of 1996 batch and has 23 years of leadership experience across both corporate and government organizations. Mr. Rawal has worked in various capacities with the Government of India, has advised multiple establishments of the Indian Armed Forces and other government establishments on various financial, contractual, regulatory, and commercial aspects for large national and international infrastructure projects. Mr. Rawal, over to you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Yaskar, and thank you the whole Incubate team. So let's start with our whole vision around this company and what we are doing as IntelliSmart. It must be new name to almost all the participants who are there in this challenge because as such this is a new company. So I would like to run you through the purpose, core purpose for which we really stand, and what we have been doing and why. So quickly, not taking too much of time, I'd request Aditya to, if he can share. Yeah. So first of all, welcome. Welcome to the complete set of participants and the managing team who has been trying to do this for quite some time. And so, talking about the IntelliSmart, IntelliSmart is a, as I said, new company with a focused attention on the digitalization in the distribution sector. And I can start with what Government of India has been now been saying for quite some time, and the recent some of the statements of Prime Minister, which where it stated that consumer should be able to choose his or supplier. This has been a dream situation or dream aspiration of Government of India and all who's who in the power sector that distribution sector or distribution as such as a field should allow the more opinion, more unique decision making in the hands of consumer. So consumer should be able to choose from where to get the services, right? So this has been an aspiration for quite long. We know all of us has not been yet realized. So that has been one of the key aspiration, but that requires lots of effort on the digital side in the distribution sector. And if you talk about recent some of the statements, the echo coming. Yeah, if you talk about some of the statements by Honorable Minister of Power, so he has been saying that goal is to install the smart prepaid meters. Uh, so when we say digitalization, the power of making the choices and smart meter, actually they are all quite go hand in hand. So smart meters, as we understand, form the very basis of digitalization in the grid, and that empowers the consumer, that empowers the distribution company in terms of the requirement of the consumer on one side, and in terms of the operational and financial efficiencies of distribution companies. So both coming together can actually yield this kind of aspirational thoughts into reality, as Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Minister of Power has been stating. Right. Yeah. Next. And why these aspirations, why these thoughts have been coming? The reason is very simple. Some of the graphs and some of the statements here may sound to be complex, but in a simple way, if I say that all of us know, who have some amount of relation with power sector at any point in time, would know that there are three parts of the value chain in power sector: generation, transmission, and distribution. So and we know that we as country have been losing large amount of power in transit or in distribution or in the collection part of it. So in summary, if I could say, even if I don't refer to these numbers, which may sound to be complex, if I generate 100 units of power at the generation end, I as distribution company only collect about 60 units of worth of money. That basically means what? That I inherently, as a business, I lose 40% of my whole value in the process of doing the business. So this will sound very interesting. It basically means that more I business I do, more I lose. So in that case, the basic economics would say, please don't do the business in that case, because more you do, more you lose. Why do you do in that case? But then let's appreciate this is an essential service. So power sector in the country and the distribution sector in the country, which actually is the main interface with us consumers, is losing so much of money in the process of doing the business. And that's this graph shows, if we have just analyzed, and the graph shows that about 11 lakh crores of rupees would be lost in this process in next 10 years if the business as usual continues. So there will be some bar diagrams and line diagrams, so I'll not go deep into it. But then that's the point which being made is that when it comes to counting the losses, this will be as high as 11 lakh crore rupees in next 10 years, and most of it is on account of billing and collection. So when it comes to losses, when I said 40% is lost, some is lost in the transmission from the generation end to the state boundary. Most of it is lost from the state boundary to the consumer. So some of it is lost as heat, some of it is lost in wrong, billing. Some of it is lost by not billing, and some of it is lost by not collecting. So this billing and collection part can be means if the network loss part, if we even if we don't handle that, billing and collection can be easily handled by smart metering. So that's where the smart metering becomes very, very critical. So the estimate shows that by having poor billing and collection only, we are going to lose 11 lakh crores, which I referred to. And this 98.5 to 99% of it can be saved by having the smart meters. Why? Because smart meters really allow remote connection, disconnection, remote collection, and many other things which are the key features of smart meters, which actually would do away with the kind of the losses we are having in billing and collection. And this is not something, it's a statement. It's being seen where the smart meters have been deployed across the country. About 16 lakh smart meters have already been deployed, and it's being seen in the countries which have really done it in past across the world. They have been able to reduce their losses significantly in this whole journey. So why not we also do this and have try and close this pit which is actually causing lots of damage to the government exchequer. So that's the whole aim. Next. So now IntelliSmart is, as I said, is a new company. It's a joint venture of ESL. ESL, I'm sure you must have heard, Energy Efficiency Services Limited. It's itself is a JV of some of the Ministry of Power companies. So ESL and NIF. NIF is National Investment Infra Fund. It's a Government of India backed fund. So they have the commitment on the power, the infrastructure in the country, and they have a really large ecosystem which can allow investments into the infra sector. Obviously, power being one of the key infra, they are keen to really work on this side of the story to invest money. And so these two companies have come together, ESL and NIF, and formed IntelliSmart, which is purely a private company backed by these government-backed companies. And the focus is very clear, and the focus is largely smart metering and digitalization in the power value chain, across the power value chain. And that's the whole theme of IntelliSmart. So IntelliSmart tends to have house all the technology experts, manpower, which can really aid, enable, and run this smart metering and other digitalization programs across the country in different discoms, and is focused on all the innovations which go into it. And that's where we are onto this webinar and this hackathon which we are conducting. Next. So, as I said, our vision is to create a digitalized and resilient power sector through innovative technological solutions. It's very simple, very straightforward, and I would say it encompasses all the digitalization efforts relating to power sector. And smart metering is one of the very important, I would say, tool in this whole process. And that's where this challenge is asking brains like you who can really churn thoughts, ideas to enable us to take this mission forward. So that's all from my side. Yeah, Aditya, you may please take it forward from here.
Thank you, sir. I hope I am audible. Now, so as sir mentioned, our our vision is to just not be a smart metering company, but we way more beyond, and that is what builds our culture. Now, our culture is to create value in everything that we do. Let it be in energy ecosystems by reducing waste, or build, partnerships with our stakeholders. Our entire business is based on four pillars. First is the purpose, the vision that we are talking about. Two are the people. Now, people are our own employees, are you and everyone that we touch through our business. Processes, for a business like this, you saw the kind of volumes that we are looking at. We are looking at, impacting around 11 trillion rupees in the next, 10 next decade. So we need to have strong, robust processes. So these are the third pillar that we stand on, and the fourth is are our partners. Who do we tie up with? The distribution companies, the ministries in states, the central government, think tanks, startup ecosystem, student ecosystem. So, and having an amalgamation and partnership among all these is something that builds our culture. And I would not read it out. It's in front of you, and that's what we want to kind of start building on. The four values that is core to us. First is integrity. Honesty, transparency are words which are very lightly used, but this is something that is very ingrained and focused in our value system. That whatever happens, we have a very strong moral compass, and this is something that we will never budge on. Respect for people, respect for the individuality that each one of us has, the expression of interest, and having openness towards sorry, I think if someone is not speaking, I will request them to be on mute. Yeah, thank you. Having respect to each other's viewpoint. I may not agree to the viewpoint, but then I respect. And we can always have a dialogue and kind of come to a common conclusion. So again, something which is very inbuilt in our value system. Sustainability. Now again, something that you would start noticing quite often these days amongst the organizations, that we are focusing on sustainability, we are focusing on climate change. But it's just not about saying that okay, we are a sustainable organization, or we are focusing on climate change. It is your deeds that you kind of showcase that what kind of an organization you are. And our business, which is smart metering, actually does that. when each and every household has smart metering, we can actually combine, reduce the carbon footprint of the country with, a focus on reducing the wastage, focus on, looking at efficiency, focus on, how we can be more efficient in our lifestyle. And also in our own organization, as much as we can, things like, not using single use plastic, as simple as that. So it's all ingrained in our, value ecosystem that, sustainability is just not a word for us, it is a way of life. And fourth, and I have kept this one the last because this is, something which is the core of our organization, which is innovation. Innovation in terms of tracking solutions. Now, when MD and CEO mentioned that, there is power sector is facing losses, and, if 100 units are generated, only 60 units are actually built. There's a 40 unit gap. So what is it that you can do? Not that, people have not tried. It's about always developing new ideas. How do you kind of, build? How can you crack a problem? That bigger problem, a problem that is actually costing the exchequer 1 lakh crore every year. So just that is one of the problems, and what are the ways that you can solve it? So, innovation is something that, every employee, is a part of. And the reason I, said this the last, because today's webinar and the IntelliSmart's Innovation Challenge and Hackathon Instinct is all about innovation. And, why we have actually reached out to you to help us crack three, critical problems that is now facing the distribution sector, and how you can actually help us, and how you can be a part of this journey where we can help the nation, bridge that loss of 1 lakh crore every year. So on that note, I will now hand it over to my director technical, Mr. Ajay Sharma. He comes with over 23 years of experience, and I will have him talk about the smart meters and then the innovation challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Good morning to all. So, as very nicely explained by our MD about the power sector and in particular the issues in the distribution sector. So, if we really want to improve the distribution sector, we need correct information, with respect to the data flow in the distribution sector. If you guys recall how the reforms happened in the generation and transmission sector, so the automation of various equipments and at the different level, that what brought to generation and transmission system into a proper place, and now the things are running very smoothly there. However, in the distribution sector, since the last mile connectivity is the consumer, and getting data from there was no methodology available at that particular time. So it was not possible to make it a closed loop automation, I would say. And that's where the intervention of the advanced metering infrastructure helps us a lot. And the critical part of the advanced metering infrastructure uh, at the device level is a smart meter. So when we say advanced metering infrastructure, it consists of the technology part, which resides at the backend. IT application can be hosted on prem or on the cloud, and the communication, which is a medium to have a bidirectional communication the device and the backend IT application. So at device level, this is a uh, capex intensive product, basically, I would say. And if I talk about smart meter in particular, so it is capable of handling all type of billing data, whether it is a prepaid metering, net metering, and these are the functionalities which are required in the coming various scenarios where the consumers will going to be prosumers and will be using rooftop solars and other EV chargers and other renewable interventions. So this device provides or enables those interventions also in the distribution sector. And this particular device, since now there is a standard issued by Ministry of Power and BIS. So this device particularly conforms to the standard IS 16444, and this allows all the security features, bidirectional communication from backend IT system to the meter, and the data flow from meter to the backend IT system. So this is all about the smart meter. And now if we can talk about the challenges, Aditya. Yeah. So as I explained earlier, so what we are looking for is uh, operational and cost effectiveness at the device level, because the technology at the product level, and I would say at the backend IT system level, it is quite mature and been already in place at various European and American countries. However, the device level, considering the Indian scenarios and considering the different mode of communications available in the India, so it is really prudent to have. I talk about my first challenge, so it is really prudent to have a, NIC module, I would say, network interface card, which is part of a smart meter. So that can facilitate all type of communication that includes the cellular and RF as well. So I hope you guys will be aware about this type of communication being used in the AMI system. So cellular, you all know about it. That is 2G, 3G, 4G, and now they have introduced narrowband IoT layer in the LTE platform. So that allows the data transmission for the IoT devices from device to the backend IT applications. Apart from that, there is a RF communication also. So to explain a little bit about it, so it basically it uses a radio frequency band, uh, and it basically forms a mesh type of structure wherein the number of meters they communicate through a mesh structure, and the backhaul communication will be again through fiber optics or the cellular network. So this is how this RF communication operate. So we are looking for a network interface module wherein all these communications can be clubbed together. It is really possible that these can be clubbed together. But what we are looking for a cost-effective solution wherein in a particular chip, all these communications are available and they can be integrated with the backend IT application. So this is our first challenge. If I talk about the second challenge, so if when we deploy the advanced metering infrastructure, um, um, quite in a larger area and across all discoms in India. So the next level of intervention would be at the consumer home appliances. So you must be aware about the star rating of the appliances and the uh, uses of the consumer appliances by different consumers in a different way, and the education about the energy efficiency. So all these things, if we digitalize it through transmitting that information to a backend data analytics platform, wherein through artificial intelligence and machine learning, if we are able to basically study the behavior of consumer and tell that particular consumer to switch to some energy efficient appliance, or to modify its consumption pattern so that he can achieve a optimal energy uses for his own benefit and for the benefit of the this energy system. So we can basically manage the energy systems in a better way. And what we are looking for here is we are looking for a smart hub which can communicate with all the home appliances inside a home, or it can be for a single home or for a cluster of home as well, considering if there is a a smaller load, and we can say if there are consumers who uses less appliances and all. so we can club it for the cluster of consumers as well. So this particular smart hub will communicate to the consumer as well, and then it will pass on the information to the backend IT system, maybe through meter or directly. So this is what we are looking for a smart hub solution, and this will allow us to educate the consumers in a better way. Now again here, what we are looking for is a idea or a design or maybe of different technology through some idea which can bring which can provide us a blueprint which we can work upon, and maybe make it possible through manufacturers interventions. The third part would be, this is very ambitious, and as I have already explained earlier, that at the device level, in the entire AMI scenario, the highest capex involvement is at the device level, that is smart meter. So instead of putting individual meters at the house premises, which are also prone to theft and other bypass and all, if you bypass even the smart meter, it is really difficult to locate it immediately. However, by analytics and all, we can locate it, but still we have to send manpower to correct it and all. So instead of doing that, and to have better cost and operational efficiencies, we are looking for a solution wherein a group of metering units can be placed over a printed circuit board, and those metering units can communicate with a network interface card, which will be common to all those group of metering units, and there will be relays for the individual metering units to remotely connect or disconnect those units in case of any tariff violations are there. So this is what we are looking, and the purpose is here to save the polycarbonates, with which in any case, in a single meter constitutes a larger part of the capex. So if we reduce the polycarbonate, and if we bring in the required BOM items in a common platform, it will really help us in reducing the cost. Also, if we see it from the operational perspective, like the installation of 6 different meters and one single group meter, which consists of 6 metering units, would definitely be cost effective, and from point of O&M also it will be cost effective. So these all are the three solutions, and now I would request our CTO, Mr. Gautam. So he has a very large experience at the product level as well as at the device level, and worked in different technology companies, and seen this evolution from meter to AMI level. And I would request him to share his enriched experience, and maybe add on to whatever I have presented to this forum.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you. Good morning to all of you. And as Mr. Ajay has explained about the three challenges which we have, which are at this moment is at the ideation level. The expectation is to get an idea, a clear idea and a blueprint of that idea so that it could be worked on that and solution could be built. First was on the, we all are aware that in AMI, the communication and the device has been emphasized are the key to the success of the smart meters. And smart metering means bringing the grid to what we all read and around the interactive, making the grid interactive and communicating to the end user, the stakeholders. Then only the true value will come out. So the first challenge is on the Omni connectivity, to get a ubiquitous connectivity across. So that's very important when you wish to communicate. Second is to get more benefit, the end user, the end customer, and it's getting to the device level. And the second and the last one, which we have said, the current design changes, which can bring out some level of saving in terms of saving, compacting, and certainly on the cost of deployment. Ultimately, it's going to be cost which has to be borne by the end users. So you need to see how to reduce the device cost. So these are the three solutions, and you feel free to ask the questions at this moment. And in the end, I would like to say that as we have many queries we have received, and still you will ask some more queries here, you have some questions in your mind. We are increasing the time for submission of the ideas till 23rd, end of the day, right? So please feel free and ask your questions. If the time does not permit, because the time is limited, you may send the questions and we will try our level best to respond you back. So please continue with your questions, and we are here to take up.
Right, sir. Thank you. All right, Samkit, Askar, we can have the moderation now led by you, and whatever the queries that you have received, and if the participants have queries pertaining to the challenge, they can ask. The CTO and Director Technical will respond to them. And as CTO mentioned, we have another 25 minutes. So we will respond to all the queries that we get right now. And if you're not able to respond any for now, we will, we can take them on mail and definitely respond by today, EOD. Thanks, Samkit and Askar, over to you.
Thank you, Aditya. So we already have questions coming over the chat. So I request everyone who has any queries or any questions, they can post it on the chat or raise their hands if they want to ask it verbally. So I'll start with the questions which we already have on the chat. So the first question is the very basic question. We have to work with all the challenges, or we can select any one of them.
So let me take that. You are open to work on individual challenges, and if you think that you can respond to each and every challenge, please, please do so. There is no compulsion that you have to participate in all three challenges. You can participate in 1, 2, or 3. Depends upon you.
Thank you, Aditya. I hope that answers the question. The next question is the focus on meters only or also on home appliances?
Let me take this question. The focus is primary focus at this moment. You have seen that there are two focus areas. One is the meter, the smart meter, which is the entry to the home. And the second is on the device side. So device is basically what we are talking of. The second idea is the hub, where the hub could be built to connect the devices inside the home, devices and additional meters or devices. Is it clear?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I hope that is clear. So let's move to the next question. As of now, is IntelliSmart having some common cloud portal where energy meter from different manufacturers should submit the 15-minute readings? Is there any kind of certification required for smart energy meters, IEC or IIS? Which organization can issue this certification?
Ajay, please.
So there is a standard. Yeah. So am I audible? I hope. So yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. So smart meters, basically there is a standard that is IS 16444, and whatever meter we procure, that would be BIS certified. And this certification, for this, to get this certification, you need to apply to the BIS after your product line is ready. So that is how you get the certification. And regarding how, where the data goes, so in our existing projects, we have a cloud platform wherein all the AMI applications are hosted, and all the data from the smart meters are fetched to these applications on the, which are hosted on the cloud platform. We take the data once in a day, and this data consists of a 15-minute block data for the entire 24 hours. Hope this answers your the queries.
Thank you, sir. So there's a follow-up question also. Are there standard meter ranges prepared by IntelliSmart? What is the average price of each meter IntelliSmart is procuring?
I hope it is asking about the cost of the meter, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so for the single phase meter, we are procuring in the range of 2000 to 2500 uh, per meter. I hope I have answered the query. There is some noise actually.
Yes, sir. There is some disturbance at your end.
Not speaking. Please keep on mute.
Okay, we'll move to the next question now. So the next question is the focus on DLMS 15959 meters or regular cost non-DLMS meters?
Meters should
So
be
if we talk
DLMS.
about
Sorry. Yeah. So meters should be DLMS, right? For other devices, we may go on other protocols, communication protocols, and the communication way of handling the communication. But for the meter, which are the revenue meters, it is DLMS. And 15959, the standards are followed for India COSIM standards, basically.
Sure, thank you, sir. So the next question is, what does having multiple MNO in an integrated smart group compact meter specify? What is the ideal number of MNOs that we are looking forward to?
yeah, so let me answer this query. So if we talk about the group meter, so group meter comes up with a common NIC card. It can have the facility to house a SIM platform wherein multiple MNO subscriptions can be managed. And if we talk about MNOs, multiple MNOs, so in India right now the four operators are there. So whosoever will be the best and can support us in support us in operating this multiple MNO structure, those can be onboarded.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, as a startup, what are the opportunities that we have apart from the prize money, and how will the IP of the product be affected?
Uh, Yeah, so let me take this question. So, as a startup, in right, like now, IntelliSmart is doing this particular smart metering program. So earlier, ESL was managing this entire program, and you must have learned about how we have helped the MSMEs and startups in um, coming together, and we have issued orders also. So yes, we have that focus of helping and promoting startups, provided you provide the quality material within the cost we desire and the services we desire. So that is the preliminary requirement. And with respect to the IP, so this product, if I talk about the smart meter, so I think there is a standard IS 16444, and all the specs, technical specs, and all the technology part is already covered under these specs, and don't see any significant IP evolution over there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Before taking,
So the
yeah,
next,
uh, just a one information. Website is updated regarding the last date, which is 23rd of February, and the same is you can do refresh your page, or if it is happening, then you can open the page on incognito mode. Thank you.
In fact, Samkit, sorry, just to add here, and we
Yeah.
were just discussing parallelly, we will extend the date, and please, everyone note, we will extend the submission date to end of day 28th February. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you for the information, Aditya and Samket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. The session caused me to change my idea accordingly. Is it possible to modify? Yeah, I'll be able to answer this question. So yes, Kansham, you will be able to modify your idea as Aditya informed. We are taking idea submissions till 28th. So you can go to your dashboard and modify your idea. The next question, is there a web API to access the data in the cloud?
So it's not very clear. Can it be explained a little bit? Because at this moment it is an ideation which need to happen, right? We are not looking any data exchange or any product at this stage. So what we are looking into a clear idea blueprint to take it through the next steps. So at this moment, there are certainly, when we look into the overall landscape of the systems, there are multiple components, and each of them of the components are integrated over APIs. Certainly, that's there. And
Thank you, sir. Vedant, I hope this answers your question. Or if you can elaborate your question, we'll be happy to ask again with the jury members. So the next question is, can we interpret or translate DLMS on the RF module or DCU, or should this be done on the cloud?
see, the normal way of doing it is that the native information should be taken to the, it is in encrypted form. So the security feature is inside the device, the first, and is only unlocked at the access point, that is basically the head-end servers, typically. So as a best security feature, it should not be deciphered in between, but once the data has been encrypted, it is decrypted at the server level only. And in the native form, the data should travel out on the communication system. Is it clear? Or if you have more doubts, I will try to explain you. Haricharan?
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, can we offer databases with active neural networks to enhance efficiency at a later stage for both consumer and power company?
Ideas are welcome. And if something has been work on the neural networks and some AI built into that, we will be happy to discuss that idea.
Okay, the next question is how it is helpful for students, sir. I guess
Students are the most vibrant mind, and
yeah.
I think, and we are giving an platform that you can think over. Thinking is something a very powerful tool, and the students are the community who has the most vibrant idea. They are free, and they can think free. So that's where I think it will help you to incubate, to think, and to consolidate your thinking in a way that could be used by the industry. So I think you are getting, as a student, it is the, I think it is a preparatory and a entry point into the industry. So please, I think, feel free, but yes, consolidate and present your ideas.
And I would just like to add here, sir, as rightly put, all future ideas, fresh ideas, the future of this industry is in your hands, and the best ideas, come from the most clear heads. So it is important that you participate, and it's just not the prize money that is in store for you. It's also the opportunity to work with us and make an impact to the distribution sector of this country, and also you'll be part of the change that this entire distribution ecosystem will see. So yes, it's just not helpful. In fact, it is a co-collaboration that we look forward to, be it students, be it the startup community, or be it the organizations, professional organizations, industries who are there. But yeah, students are the core, because you are the future of this industry.
Thank you, Aditya. So the next question is, if in case smart meters are being installed, so what about the present meters? What will happen to them?
Yeah. Basically, what will happen is the smart meter rollout. This is going on in a phased manner, and now it is in urban and semi-urban areas. Wherever these meters are, taken back to the stores, and they will be basically used as a replacement meter for rural area as of now till they live their life. This
Thank you.
clarifies.
Yes, thank you, sir. So the next question is, can we give an idea based on the microprocessor 8051?
See, at this moment, it is an idea, right? And the ideation. We are not looking to be building on at the what should be the MCU or the design level, right? The microcontroller or the microprocessor we are using. So ideation, the clarity of the ideation, how it could be built. You can think over your ideas over any processor. 8051, if you are conversant with, you can build around your idea using that. So it's an ideation, not a productization at this moment. So productization will happen afterwards. So I think in that time, more people will come in and we will mentor you out to convert your idea into a product or into a service.
Thank you. We have another question from Nehara. We are using microcontroller which are multi-purpose, example Arduino. So in the beginning, can we use them because they are not so cost effective?
Yes, sure. No problem on that. So,
Okay. And the next question is, if tomorrow 5G technology comes in existence, whether first challenge is viable for multiple communication module, that is NB or 4G?
Yeah. So if we talk about the technology upgradation at this moment, particularly the cellular one, and that is where we need the ideas or the innovations wherein the technology obsolescence and the upgradation can be taken care, and that is why we are building multiple communication technologies in one unit. And going forward, like we are looking for the platforms also wherein since the 4G and 5G they operates from the same platform of LTE, so that can be that should be managed from the same level or the subscription level. That is what we are looking for. Hope
Thank
this
you, sir.
answers your queries. Yeah.
And the next question is, if the data from the meters are sent to the cloud, is there a way to access it?
So the data are being accessed by role-based access control users, and they are being defined by the administration. That is how it is being accessed. We have user interfaces through which we can access all the AMI applications and can see the data. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, should we submit the complete idea and code base for our projects? How can we ensure the rights to it stays with us?
So, okay, let me take that. In this, during the submission of ideas at the first phase, which is being extended till 28th, I would request you to submit your idea in detail, explaining what the idea is and how what is it that it entails. The next phase, if your idea is shortlisted, the mentors will help you through to kind of build it stronger. And during the hackathon is when you can kind of give your entire code base, and the entire details on IP rights protection is mentioned already on the website. It's very clearly written, and I would request you to kind of go through the same. And if you still have a query, you can reach out to the Incubate team, and we will respond. Will respond to it.
Thank you, Aditya. So the next question is, should we have a Wi-Fi module as well on the communication module?
Yeah, so at present we are not looking for the Wi-Fi, only the communication modules which we have defined, like the cellular and RF.
I could suggest that if we are thinking of Wi-Fi in the hub, you can think of the challenge number 2.
Thank you, sir. Shubham, I hope that answers your question. Next question is from Vaibhav. Are there any resources about your smart devices, smart meters, etc., like specs about how they communicate, etc.?
There are plenty of that in the website on the various. Go on the wiki called for the AMI infrastructure, and you will get plenty of. Because last 10 years there are many things are happening around the smart meters, and there are plenty on the web. I think you can read through them and get an idea. If you have various communication, has been mentioned about the communication technologies, the RF, the MES, the 4G cellular technology, point-to-point other technologies are there, wireless, wired technology. So multiple ideas are there, multiple, at least whatever has been done so far. So you can get in there.
Thank you, sir. The next question is it necessary for all the team members to submit their projects individually? Anuj, only the team leader can submit their ideas and the others can contribute to it if they want to, but it's not necessary for all the team members to submit it individually. And there's a follow-up question. Do we need to have the specific details for our prototype or approximation will work out?
Well, uh, at this stage, like in the first phase where you're submitting, um, we can still consider approximation, but once your idea is shortlisted, then we will have to, go for specific details. And I think this you can discuss with the mentors once, you have specific doubts. This can be discussed with mentors and can be arrived at.
Thank you, Aditya. The next question is, if a new module is to be designed for this contest, is there enough time to fab, assemble and submit?
Haricharan, the idea is to give them, at this moment, the challenge we have placed is to put up your idea, put up a blueprint of your idea, and then if that idea looks like, you can give enough details so that it looks workable, right? And then I think we are not looking at this moment for any hardware to come out hardware or something to be coming out at this stage. So second stage will be there where we would be discussing and working around with that. So at this moment, we are looking only for a blueprint of your idea.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, I am new to IntelliSmart, so can I get help from tutor or mentor? Shresh, the mentors will be available to help you, and you can also reach out to Incubate team. We'll be happy to connect you with the mentors for any sort of help. If you need any specific help, you can put down your queries on the chat, and we'll be able to address it today itself. Next question is, I have multiple ideas for the same challenge. Can I submit both?
I think Askar, you have to take that. I see no problem, but
Yeah,
you should respond to that.
yeah. But a single entry will allow one idea to be submitted, and for that you have to create one another ID or of your team member ID to put another idea of challenge. I think that's answer.
Thank you, Samkit, for taking that. Any other questions, anyone? If there's any doubts. Okay, I've got a question. For second challenge, I suggest for technology being used in Italy by NL that being successfully done on common platform for gas, water, power with Zigbee to cloud server.
Please share your idea, that we will see. Whatever you can think, and think free. That's the message.
Great. So I think we are bang on time. Um, so now we'll request CTO to kind of share any closing remarks, and then I will request my MD and CEO if he wants to say any last words before closing the webinar.
Good to see this participation and enthusiasm. And so many questions been asked, and most of these questions, I think all of us are really serious about this and working around. So very focused questions, I can say, pointed and focused questions were there. We request you, if you have this time any further queries, or you have any doubt in your mind, or you need anything, you can come right to the Incubate team, and they will get in touch with us, and we try to respond you as soon as possible. To and participate as much as possible. This is a nation building exercise, and where you see it, if something get in the our, so we look for the technology should also be made in India, right? Not only the manufacturing and the things and other things. So technology, as we see, we go outside, do many things. So in India also, we should be doing our, and we Indians also do outside. So why not here? So incubation, we are giving a platform. Please use it. Once such platforms get more and more participations, it will come. There will be more places like this for you to explore. Right. So please participate. Right. That's my from my side. So if sir wants to say, MD sir wants to say anything, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Shreyas.
About with the and about the teams, or
Your voice is not clear.
I'm saying that the teams that will be given, that we will select, or that will be given randomly. Mm, that you all for us.
You are not clear enough, Suresh.
You can put
Can
your
you?
question on the chat, Shreyas.
Yes, that's the theme actually. Make in India is certainly, but it's a global thing. Everything cannot be done here. If you try to find of a MCU, some sort of, you have to go and look into something. But at the addition place, we think as much as possible to get from the Indian ecosystem.
Okay, Shreyas is asking, teams are made randomly or we can select our team. Shreyas, we are not allotting your teams. You have to select your own team, add your team members, on the dashboard and make a team of 2 to 5 members. I hope we are done with the questions.
Yeah, I think let's just wait for one last minute and then close it.
Sure.
Right, Askar, I think there are no more questions, so I think we can take it. Okay, there is one.
Yeah, there is one question.
Yeah.
I thought one challenge good for me this time is IntelliSmart will do more initiatives like this in IoT domain.
As I had mentioned, in a briefing that I had given, that we are an organization which strongly believes in innovation, and please note, Instinct is not just a one-off activity; it's going to be a regular exercise, and basis the response and the participation, we will keep coming up with some relevant challenges across different domains. So yes, you never know.
I hope that answers the question. Thank you, Aditya. So we're done with the questions now.
So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for taking time out on Saturday and participating and being a part of the webinar. As my MD and CEO and CTO and Director Technical had very clearly put out, we look forward to your submissions. Registration is one thing, but looking at the questions now, I'm really hopeful that I'm looking forward to some great ideas. And we have also extended the date so that now you have time, you have a 1 week time to kind of build on what we have spoken, you have a clear idea of what we are looking at, and really looking forward to some good submissions. You have to make our job difficult, and in fact, the more difficult it is for us to choose a good idea, it is much better for the country, because this is where we will be going forward and we are serious about it, and this is what we look forward to from you guys. So all the best, and please reach out to the Incubate team for any queries, and we will always be there, and we will also soon put out the list of mentors for the second phase who will be guiding you, who will be there with you, and as well as the jury, who will be the final jury to kind of assess the challenges, the final round. So on that note, that is it from IntelliSmart's end. Over to you, Samkit and Askar.
Thank you, Aditya, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
We are looking forward to some great submissions from your side. So start working on your solutions and submit them as soon as possible.
Yeah, thank you, participants, and thank you, IntelliSmart team.
Thank you and best of luck.
Good luck. Bye.